We've been hearing the phrase trust the process being thrown around for the 76ers for years now, but that process lands largely on Joel Embiid's shoulders, so when Philly fans hear the phrase, they are really investing in Embiid's progress. And while it's been entertaining, it certainly hasn't always been easy to be a Sixers or an Embiid fan. But coming off an offseason in which he has put hard work in off the court, Embiid lost a sizable amount of weight, leading the Sixers to the top spot in the East and himself in the MVP conversation. So how'd he transform himself? Well, today you'll find out because we're talking about Joel Embiid's insane diet and workout. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that bell and like button below so you know when we put out fresh content. Without further ado, the process. Despite his immense talent, Joel Embiid has received some criticism in the past few years for poor eating and conditioning off the court, resulting in him looking visibly out of shape come playtime. He has still put out high production, but he has been leaving fans wondering why the process they all so coveted wasn't being taken as seriously from the guy who coined the name. But apparently Embiid's diet was worse than anybody thought. And this wasn't a new development. Despite his relatively slender frame at the time, this problem became apparent during his Kansas Jayhawk days. This wasn't just a rumor either, it came straight from head coach Bill Self's mouth, who said Embiid was the least mature eater he had ever coached, adding, "This dude would come to the house and go right to the plate of brownies and take the plate home, and that would be all that he would eat." And once Embiid was drafted to Philly with the 3rd overall pick, his eating habits didn't get any better and they didn't go unnoticed. In fact, a Sixers staffer was so concerned about Embiid's eating habits that they had to go to his downtown hotel residence to fill his refrigerator with healthy food each week because he wasn't going to do that himself. Embiid's poor food habits included an indulgence in Chick-fil-A, ordering huge meals every time he visits there, and an addiction to Shirley Temples. Apparently, coming into the league, Joel was drinking several of these sugary beverages a day before cutting back to one a day and eventually every once in a while. And it wasn't just that Embiid was eating junk food all too often, but he wasn't throwing in anything resembling healthy in between those meals. Brian Geltzier brought up the issue in a Sports Illustrated interview, saying when a staffer went to restock the fridge each week, most everything was uneaten and unopened, and they were throwing out the fruits and vegetables every week. When the team subsequently asked to see Embiid's room service bill, they found that most days he was ordering junk food along with his signature beverage, a pitcher of Shirley Temples. The team was putting their best effort into Embiid's health, but he just wasn't reciprocating the effort. In fact, it wasn't just when he was at home, as Embiid had been caught on several occasions feasting on burgers and hot dogs before, after, and even during the game. I mean, he's a big guy, he needs his fuel, but the whole situation was just getting out of hand. With the Sixers stuck in mediocrity, Embiid knew he had to make a change to get himself and his teammates out of this ditch. And while Embiid hadn't revealed the exact layout of his new process, he did come into last season looking visibly slimmer from the season before, although he isn't saying too much. But he told the media that he had lost 20 pounds since the season before and added 5 pounds of muscle back into that. Now JoJo was saying with a coy smile on his face that his explanation didn't seem he was doing anything drastic in terms of his eating habits, and he did say he's been making an emphasis on doing his body right. So flash forward to this past offseason. The injured Sixers were bounced from the first round of the playoffs, giving Embiid ample time and opportunity to condition before the next shortened season started. And lo and behold, he'd finally done it. While he's still not super forthright in his diet plan, he has hired a personal chef and nutritionist. A huge move for a guy that had consistently caved to fast food places. But most importantly, the results are showing. Embiid's weight is down and his on-court play is the best it's ever been. Whatever his new chef is feeding him, it's working and he'll likely be sticking around for a while. So what about his new workout routine? Throughout all the talk of his terrible diet, Embiid has still been a dominant big man in the past few years, as well as one of the strongest guys in the league. And while a lot of his strength is from his natural physique, he certainly puts the work in on the weightlifting front. A typical Monday for Embiid consists of all upper body workouts, like seated cable rolls, cable barbell curls, hammer curls, cable flyers, and one-arm tricep extensions and sets of push-ups. The result of these have never been in question, as Embiid has been showcasing a next level of strength through his huge arms his entire tenure in the league. Then Wednesdays and Thursdays it's on to bent over low pulley lateral extensions, barbell lunges and squats, and front cable raises. Again, all of this is no surprise as JoJo has been the epitome of the strongman since the start. But what did have fans surprised this offseason was his new commitment and conditioning and cardio. Over the summer, Embiid posted a video of himself completely gassed laying on his back in the corner of the gym. He had been doing intense cardio workouts trying to slim down and get prepared for next season. The new cardio regimen revolves around specific post moves. It starts with Embiid watching film of a specific post move, then he would start practicing the move in a half court. Once he finally got the move down, his two trainers would start the clock and Joel would have to perform the move, then sprint to the other end of the court and do it down there as well, darting back and forth until the buzzer finally sounds. But he wasn't let off the hook after that. More time was added onto the clock and he would run full scored sprints into a shot on the other end for several more minutes. His trainers would even throw in young and agile assistant coaches to play him one-on-one so he couldn't have it too easy. All in all, the session would go a ridiculous 2 hours, exhausting Embiid to the point of nearly passing out. It seems like an extreme measure, especially for someone coming off an injury, but he was clearly and finally committed to conditioning himself. Along with this conditioning, Embiid has also worked on his posture on both the defense and offensive end, making sure it doesn't worsen as the game proceeds and as he gets more tired. Embiid's trainer, Drew Hanlon, said about the new focus, "If he's in better posture, then he's playing with his hips lower. He's in a better shooting position. When he drives, he's lower. He can absorb the bumps better and drive through the contact. It's not just being able to run for a longer period of time. It's more that he's in better position to do the things that makes him such a great player. He's able to stay in that position throughout the game." Hanlon also stated that his new posture is partly the reason for his great play this season. He's constantly ready to take the jump shot now, but if the defender crowds him, he's got the form and speed to get around him and make his way to the rim. And Hanlon's not lying. Embiid has been killing it this year, and his new focus on conditioning has come up clutch. Instead of settling, he has more often than not barged his way to the rim and is finding himself at the free throw line at a record pace. Not only that, he is actually shooting free throws more consistently in the third and fourth quarter, exemplifying what great stamina he could really provide. And his new physique doesn't just help Embiid, it helps the whole team. Ben Simmons' playstyle is perfect for rim-running bigs and wings, and for players who could space the floor in the half court. Now, Embiid's touch has improved and his conditioning has allowed him to run the floor with Simmons for the whole game. And with such an impressive output on the offense this season, there's even more attention drawn to the big fella, meaning new acquisitions Seth Curry and Danny Green fit like a glove, waiting outside the three-point line for an open three as soon as the double comes. Currently, Embiid suffered an injury that has nothing to do with his physique, but because he's now lighter on his feet, he will likely recover faster and help the Sixers make a push toward a finals appearance. That's it for today. What do you think of Embiid's diet and workout? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe so we can bring more content your way.